Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys all the things that you can do on LumaFusion. They just released their newest update, which is LumaFusion 2.0, and it has a lot of new features and things that I think just make this app so much better. I'm just going to be showing you guys in general how to use LumaFusion to edit your videos. This is my main video editor and I love it so much. I've been using it for maybe 2 years now. I did take a break since I got a laptop, but now that I'm on my iPad, I use this as my main editing machine. So yeah, I've been full-time on LumaFusion now and I still really enjoy it, and it gives a lot of great features that a lot of desktop versions of editors don't even have. So yeah, this is one of my favorite editors and I really recommend it to anyone who is looking for a good editor for iOS or iPad. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna go into LumaFusion here. And here you can see I have all my projects, and here is all of my videos, my video library, everything all right here. As you can see, it's currently in this project, but I can go into other projects, and to create a new project, I just click on this plus button here, and then I can name my project. So I'm just gonna call this one tutorial, and then I can also select my frame rate and my frame aspect, so that's my aspect ratio. I recommend if you're making YouTube videos, just keep it on 16:9. 9:16 is like let's just say IGTV kind of videos, and then you have all these other frame rates as well, but I just recommend 16:9. And then once you've done that, you just click on this plus button and then you can start your project. So here we have our blank canvas and we have nothing imported yet, so it's just completely blank, nothing in the timeline or anything. This is your timeline. Here are some volume controls. Here are some other controls with the volume. Here are editing things that you can do within clips, and then here is some other things as well. So this thing here is your layout, so I can do this layout, or I can have all my imports and audios in here, and then my preview on the left side, or I can have no media, or I can have my media at the bottom. So yeah, they have a bunch of varieties of things that you can do. It's just about your preference and how you like to edit. I usually just go with a standard version. It's just what I'm used to by now, but yeah, it's all about what you prefer in this timeline. Then here you have this tools over here. Info is just about your project, and this plus button tab here is to add a marker to your video, but since we don't have anything in here, you're not going to be able to do that right now. Markers is not something that I often use, but you can do that. Now let's get to the main thing of importing clips into your project. So here are all my clips. I can navigate through photos. I have all the things here, and if I click on here in the top left, you see I have other things. So I can also go to imported, and I can go to iCloud Drive and import things over there. So that's also something that I can do. I'm just going to go into all photos and videos, and then I have some things here that I can choose from to import into my project. So what you can do is you can click this correction mark here, and then once you've done that, you can just select multiple clips, or you can just select all the clips, or you can just not select any. So you just select one single clip. That's also something you can do. So this is just making importing easier if you have multiple clips you want to import, but I'm just gonna choose a random video to import into my project. So if I want to import one of these screen recordings that I have here, all I need to do is I can either tap it and drag it to my timeline, or I can double tap that clip and then it will also be inserted into my timeline. So it's as easy as that. This is what it looks like. And here you can see the thing that I mentioned with markers. Then you can just say maybe A, done, and then there is a marker there, so you can go click on that and it automatically takes you to that point in your timeline. And another thing they improved in the update is now you can glide your finger across this timeline here, this bar here, into any point in your video. It's just much faster scrubbing through your video, which is really, really nice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this clip that I've just imported. So if I click the scissor button without selecting the clip, it will automatically crop or split that clip right at that moment. But if I maybe bring in another clip over that clip. Say I want that clip here. So once you've selected a clip, you have a bunch of editing options down here. So within the clip, you have different editing options. So first thing you can do, the first thing here is cloning that clip. It just went ahead and put it over. Or you can detach the audio. That's the second thing here. So then the audio is detached, and then you can either delete the audio or customize the audio, whatever you want. Then also what you can do is you can link this clip. Then you also have a few things like adding presets, but I'm not going to go into that much detail right now. This is just a vague overview of the app, but you can add presets and things like that as well to your clips if you have any presets saved. So you can see if I click on the presets button, I have a few things saved. So if I click on this, it's going to go into that corner. That's just a preset that I have saved for screen recordings and things like that. So you can also do that. And then obviously you can also just delete the clip as well. But there are a few more advanced options as well, but I'm not going to go into that much detail right now. Now, if I do a single tap, it will highlight these tools at the bottom for that clip. But if I do a double tap, it will take me into a more in-depth editor. So here in the editor, you have down here, you have multiple areas of tools, and then within each tool, you have multiple other things that you can select and edit. So I'm going to go to the first tool here, which is basically like where you want it to be, like sizing and positioning the clip basically. So here we have a bunch of presets of ways that you can like move the clip around. I can also make the clip bigger or smaller to fit my screen perfectly. So if I want to get this whole screen recording in, I can just do that. I can also do fit mode, so fit, fill, focus, strength, stretch. So everything like that I can do here. I can also crop my video by going like this. I can go left, top, right, bottom, edge softness, which is that's just kind of making it a fade filter at the edges of the video. Then we have a corner radius, so that kind of rounds your corners as well, which is also something that's really nice. And then you have size and position. So position is moving it from left to right with the x-axis, and then you have the y-axis, which you can also move it up and down. Then you have rotation here, so you can rotate your clip as well if that's something you want to do. And you can also select the size, like in general the size, or again with the x and the y-axis, you can do that as well. Then lastly here we have the blending option, so that's the opacity. So you can lower or make the opacity higher, whichever you like. And then we also have these tools up here. So say I have this clip ready now and I want to save this for future reference in other projects. I can click on this star up here, and that's how you make a preset. So I can say maybe I can say iPad screen, and I can click done and then click on the plus button again, and then that will save the preset, so I can always reference back to that. And then we have this here, which is the rotation of a clip. And then we have lastly the flip option, so if that's something you want to do as well. So yeah, that's everything in the like positioning and everything of the clip. So here you can see the logo, and then here on this star again you have all your presets. Here is the preset that I just saved. Then I have motion, glitches, which is all this other project that I was working on, and then again iPad screen, which I just went on. Then we have some of the other tools down here. So this one is the speed of the video, so you can either speed it up to 6 times, or you can just put it at normal, whichever one you'd like. And then you can reverse your video, which can take a while, and then you have to maintain audio pitch. So this will either make your voice look really squeaky or really hollow when you speed it up or slow it down, or you can just remain the same, so you can toggle that on and off as well. Then we have volume controls over here. They have some really in-depth volume controls, but the one I mostly use is just lowering and bringing up the volume. So yeah, I don't really know anything about like these in-depth audio controls. Maybe if you do, you can play around with all of these and add some configurations, and you can also make presets for audio as well. Then lastly here we have some of our color and effects. So this is something that has a few very helpful features. So first off, we just have some color presets, so you can cool it, you can make it a little more pinkish, whatever. They have a lot of things here. You can higher the contrast on a clip. It's all up to your preference. Then you have LEDs, so here they have a few of that. I'm not going to go through all of these. Then you have some textures and things like that, so here you can see some cool inverted colors, things like that you can also add. Then you have this water drop here for blur. This is also really nice, so they have different levels of blur and you can still just customize that to your liking. Then you have some other features as well that you can also go through on your own time. And then you have the chroma key, so that is for green screens and blue screens, and Luma key and things like that. Mostly I use green screens, and then I can just go to this here and select green screen. I'm going to show you guys that later. And then you have some of your presets here as well, if there's any color effects they've maybe saved, so you also have those there. Okay, so that's all for the in-depth editing it within a clip. So yeah, you can choose to edit all clips like that. The presets come really in handy when maybe I want all my clips to look like this, but now this one is kind of different than this one. Then I can just select this clip, go to presets, which is the start, and then I can go to motion, and then I can select iPad screen. So yeah, that's all I have for in-depth editing within a clip. Now, what I want to point out is in this new update of LumaFusion, you now have the ability to add up to 6 clips over one clip. So you have 6 clips that you can import. So here you can see I'm stacking them all up onto each other. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I can put another one here. And yeah, it's as easy as that. So you have 6 audio and video tracks that you can now use, which is double the amount that there was. You can only previously added 3 video clips and 3 audios, but now they've increased the amount, and that's wonderful, especially for someone who likes putting a lot of videos over each other. That's really, really nice, and it can really broaden up your editing world. So that's really nice that they included that, and I'm super happy that they did. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing you guys how to add text over your videos. So what you can do is you can either go down here on this plus button and say add main title or overlay title. So you can't see it right now since it is white. So I'm gonna go here, I just double tapped on that, and now I can select some titles that they already give you, or I can edit my own text. Now here they have a bunch of options for editing each text. Oops, I accidentally moved that. So I can maybe select the face color, so I'll just make that black so you can see it more clearly. I'm just going to move that, and then I can select the opacity again. I can add an edge color, so let's say a white edge or maybe a green edge, just so it stands out a bit more. I can select the saturation of that or the brightness. That's also something that I can do. Then I can also select the width, so I can make it a little less or a little more. I can also add a shadow, so I can just select the distance from it and blur that a little bit so it looks like it's standing out a bit more like a shadow. I can also rotate the shadow angle, things like that. And then I can select to center it and up and down. I can also rotate the text as well if that's something I want to do. So yeah, that's how you basically edit your text. You can play around with this a lot. And as for fonts on this, so here you can see you have the Arial MT font, and it gives you the size to center it, whatever. You can also just then change the font. You can also import your own fonts into LumaFusion. So yeah, if you have maybe a custom font or something that you like to use but is not in LumaFusion's font library, you can also import your own, and that's something that I think is really nice as well. So yeah, that's all for titles, like just customizing your titles and whatnot. You can also go down here again to this area and then just move it around a bit more, or add some color effects to it. Here is another green screen example. Yeah, I'm not gonna really use that as a green screen, but it's just an example. So you can also just play around with some filters as well with text, but I don't think that's very necessary. But yeah, so that's how you add text to your video. You can also just drag the sides of the tracks to lessen the length of your titles, and then you can also just move it around as well, so that's very nice. Now, since I have all of these things now, and I maybe want to add a transition between these two clips, what I can do is I go to the top left here on that button, and I can go to transitions. So they have quite a few transitions here that you can choose from. My favorite is just the push up, push down things. I just like to use those in my videos, but they have a few here that you can choose from. I'm gonna go with the push left, and then I just drag that to where I want it to be. So this is what the transition will look like in this video. Now, as you can see, the text doesn't have a transition, but I can add one there. I can just also do the push left on it, and I can lessen the amount of time that it takes for the transition to take place, and then it looks like it's taking place at the same time as my other transition. So this is what it looks like. It comes in at vaguely the same time. You can also lessen the duration of the transition, like I just said, which is very nice. So if you don't want to have very long transition, you can just shorten it, and it's just way faster. So yeah, you can also do that. So as you can see, I have the push left transition, and then if I add the push left transition at the end of my clip, so say here, you'll actually then push the opposite direction, since it is a end of a transition clip. So you can also do that as well. I hope that makes sense. So it's basically just going to go in the opposite direction as it is initially supposed to, because it's an ending of a clip, not the beginning. So yeah, here you can see in my timeline thing here, it shows everything in detail in just a quick preview here. So that's something that I really like, as it has been incorporated. It's just that preview button slider here. So that's really, really nice. So yeah, that's for the transitions. You just basically add that in. I'm gonna go through some of these features here with this sources. So like I've gone through photos, Garner box, I'm not sure what that is. WD also not. We have imported, like I showed you guys, you can import things from iCloud Drive, things like that. You can have story blocks, which they have a few things of, but I'm pretty sure you need a subscription to use story blocks. So if you don't have that, you're gonna need to get that. They have a few free options. So these are just some footage that you can use. They have background, they have music, they have sound effects. So these are just additional sources for you to use in your videos. So that's also something you can do if you have a subscription with Storyblocks. So that's really nice, though I guess they're collaborating basically. So yeah, then we have titles. Here are some other text options, as you can see. So if you don't want to make your own custom text, you can just use some of theirs. They have a few to choose from here. And then they have transitions, like I just showed you. And then they have iTunes, which is basically the music that you've just downloaded or bought. I don't have any bought items. I only have the ones that I stream. So yeah, I don't have anything there in iTunes. But let's say I want to add some background music. What you need to do is you want to go to the Storyblocks option here, and then you want to go into music, and then it will start to load. And they have a few free songs here, and then the things that you need to pay for. So I'm just going to choose a random one, and I'm going to drag that into my timeline, and it will start to download that music into my video. Now, something that I love to do with LumaFusion is if I have multiple music tracks in this first audio track area, what I can do is I can click down here, the first option here at the bottom left. I can lock things so that I can't move them around anymore. I can hide them on my video. I can adjust the audio, or I can link it or unlink it. So that what it means to unlink the clip is, so if it's linked to this clip here, the bottom clip and I delete the bottom clip, it will also be deleted. But if I unlink it from the bottom clip and I delete the bottom clip, then it will not delete as well, so that's very nice. So you can also do that as well. But the second option here with the audio controls is the volume of the audio. Now what I like to do with my background music is I like to make it a little softer than my main audio, and then I don't have to select each part of audio and lower the volume. I can just do it with this one timeline here, and I can select the volume and it will keep it like that volume within the entire clips. And if I have talking points and I've cut all the clips but I haven't selected the volume yet, I can just select to bring it a little higher and then all the clips will be that volume. So I love to do that, and it just makes editing so much faster since you don't have to go into each individual clip and make the audio that specific volume and things like that. So yeah, that's something that I really love to do with LumaFusion. And I can also just select these speakers here and I can just mute the volume of something. So yeah, that's also really nice, and this is just a feature that makes it very easier for me to edit. Here you can see it says downloaded media 1 remaining, and it just shows how long it will still take for that media to download. So yeah, we've covered the video tracks, adding videos over videos. You can also add photos over videos. Obviously it's just the same thing, you just drag it over and then you can just adjust the size by double tapping and then bringing it in, moving it around, whatever you want to do. But I'm not gonna go through it. But yeah, that's adding photos over your videos, very easy. Now let's go to green screens, which is one of my favorite features in editing. Is just using green screens just to make your videos a little more interesting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up here, I'm going to go to imported, since I have a green screen that I've already imported here. So this green screen is a subscribe button that I just made. I can either use this one or I can use this one. This is one that's a little more fun to use. So I'm gonna drag this in, but here is what it looks like. But as you can see, it has the green around it. So what I do is I double tap on that clip, I go to this option here, the key button, it's the chroma key, and then I click on green screen. And as you can see, it's took away a lot of the detail of my image. That's no problem. What you do is you toggle all these things until you have your desired look. So here you can see I just do that. It brings back a lot of new things. I select the saturation to make sure it's all, I get rid of all the green and I have all my details still available. So yeah, I can just toggle this a lot until I have my desired look. And once I'm happy with that, I can just exit my screen, and then this is what it looks like now. Yeah, you just play around with this until you have your desired look for your green screen. So that's how you use green screens in LumaFusion. It's very simple, not a lot of things to worry about there. So yeah, I just love using green screens, and it's very simple to use in LumaFusion. So yeah, that's something that I really like. Now, if you use this specific green screen often and you don't want to go through the whole process of moving these things around each time, what you can do again is just create a preset. You can just select this button here, this start button again. You can say sub green screen, and I just create that preset, and then it's there, so I don't have to go in every project and toggle these till I have the desired one. I just go ahead and select this, go to that preset button and go to green screen, and it's there. So yeah, that's really nice. Again, it's super convenient to use, and it just saves a lot of time when editing. If you have to use that specific clip in multiple projects, it will always be saved at your preset area. So that's really, really nice. Here at the bottom, you see you have the settings option. Now this is if you want to change maybe something within a project. So you want to change your resolution or your frame rates, background color. So you can see my background color here. You can see it's black, and I can select this and make my background color white, and then it will be white. So I can also do that. What I can also toggle is photo duration. So if I import a photo into my main audio track, or video track, sorry, I can select how long that photo should be in my track. So I can just make it 4 seconds if that's the amount of time I want a photo to be in my track. I can also select how long a title should be, how long a transition should take place. I have all those things. Ducking is something that I'm not sure about. You can play around with that. You have preferences, some more settings here, cleanup, and then you have help. So other tutorial videos, things like that, you can also access there. Now, once I'm happy with my video, this is just a very plain, very distorted video. But once I'm done with that, I go here to the bottom on that logo here, and then I can click on movie, audio only, which you just export the audio. You can go to LumaFusion project package, so then you can share that via maybe to your other phone, or maybe you have another person who wants to edit on this specific project and send them that through the LumaFusion project package, or you can take a snapshot of your screen. But yeah, movie, then you want to go to photos and then select your resolution. So you have all these, maybe just 1080, and then you just click on this export button here, and it will start to write your movie. Big thing is, don't exit LumaFusion while it's exporting, otherwise it will stop the export process. So just don't do that. Here you can see I'm going to exit. I'm gonna go in again, and it says error uploading video. So yeah, but that's how I edit using LumaFusion. I hope this helped you guys. Again, I'm very happy with some of its features. This new preview area, the ability to have 6 audio tracks and 6 video tracks, all those are really exciting, and the layout is just much cleaner now. So yeah, I really love how they edited the app to make it just so much better. But I love this app. I hope you guys have fun editing with it. Let me know in the comments down below some features that you maybe have some questions about, and what do you think about LumaFusion. Definitely subscribe if this video helped you, and give this video a thumbs up. It really does help. And click on the video to see my previously uploaded video, and click on the playlist to see all my other YouTube tips and tricks videos. So that's other tutorials like this. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Be weird and be proud of it.